Wow, this is better. Here are some of my favorite duochromes in my collection. All together on my hand makes me so happy. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. And I just got my Sydney Grace order, and I ordered 5 singles that I paid for, and then I got 4 additional like gift with purchase mystery pack of single eyeshadows, and I have put them in these little magnetic palettes. These palettes, by the way, are from Makeup Forever. It's 2 of them, and I'm kind of sad that I thought each one would hold 8, but it only held 6. So, but anyways, these palettes are $2. And they're such high quality. The magnet is like the strongest magnet I've ever seen on a magnetic palette. The clasp closes like shut, and it won't open unless you want it to open, because you need to hit this little button to open it like that. So enough about the thing that this video is not about. Let's talk about the single shadows. So the shadows that I purchased include The Greatest Gift, Tiara, Winter Garden, Always Yours, Mythical, and then the 4 that I got as like the gift with purchase include XOXO, Truth and Beauty, Under the Sea, and Peach Fuzz. So in this video, I'm going to show you both arm swatches as well as swatch each of these individually live on my hand, because I think there's utility in both arm swatches and like live swatches. So I want to provide both of those for y'all today. I usually provide both, but if this is your first time seeing me. Also, if this is your first time seeing me, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go, because I make a ton of eyeshadow content as well as all kinds of beauty content. Just another beauty YouTuber. I upload at least weekly, up to 3 times weekly. So I hope you enjoy my content enough to stay. And let's get into the video. First, let me show you all of the arm swatches, and from left to right, the shades are again Greatest Gift, Tiara, Winter Garden, Always Yours, Mythical, XOXO, Truth and Beauty, Under the Sea, and Peach Fuzz. Before picking these shades to buy myself, I spent hours, so long, watching swatching videos, looking online for swatches, tutorials, just any content that I could find using Sydney Grace eyeshadows, because I wanted to get the most potent, like strongest metallic eyeshadows that were there to offer, and a lot of them ended up being bestsellers. So some of the best-selling shades on the site include Greatest Gift, Tiara, and Winter Garden, which are the first 3 that I bought, and Always Yours is also up there, as well as Mythical. And I tried to look up the other 4 shadows that they sent me, but I actually can't find those shades on the website. So I don't know if they're discontinued shades or if they were only for this gift with purchase promotion, but I don't have a lot of information on those other 4 shades, unfortunately. I am wearing just one of these shades all over my lid. It's the Duochrome Winter Garden, and I will tell you some more details about it later, but I want to just tell you now what I'm wearing on my eyes. And for my inner corner highlight, I just used one of my Fenty highlighters. Now for the individual swatches. For the individual swatches, I'm going to start at the same place that I started the arm swatches from. So this first shade is Greatest Gift, which is a light pink with a green shift. Here is Greatest Gift. Now rub that in a bit. The second shade is Tiara, which is just described as taupe. And between Peace, Troops, and Tiara, those are some of the best-selling shades. I decided to only pick one because I exercised a little bit of restraint knowing the size of my eyeshadow palette collection. Plus, Peace looked a lot like Going Coconut's Cocoa Crush, and between Troops and Tiara, I figured I only needed one because both of them were kind of more cool-toned shimmers. So anyways, here is Tiara, which is Metal. This shade is super potent. It's this shade and Always Yours, which is another one which I experienced to be the most metallic and foiled among the shadows that I received. The third shade is another duochrome. It's Winter Garden, and this is the one that I'm wearing just as a one shadow look all over the eye. The description of this is a gray lavender with a strong pink, blue, and lavender shift. Don't ask me how something can be lavender and have a lavender shift. I just don't question it. Here is, what is this called? Winter Garden. And honestly, among the eyeshadows that I picked out, this one is actually the most dull. The pearls aren't as reflective as some of the other shades, but you know, I'm not mad at it because it has so much shift that it's kind of nice to be able to blend it out and have the blended portions look almost matte or satin, and then have just the color come through where the light hits it. It's okay. It's okay. Maybe it was a little disappointing, but I still am happy to have it. I don't know if I already said this, but I tried to pick shades that aren't already duplicated in my collection, so things that would really add to my life. Another duochrome that Sydney Grace offers is called Red Chameleon, and that is a pretty much spot-on dupe for Sponsored from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Jackie Aina palette. I didn't get it because I have that palette, so I don't need a duplicate shade. So it's that kind of stuff that I'm talking about, that I picked only what would add to my life. The fourth shade is Always Yours, and all the swatches of this shade look unreal. And this, like I said earlier when I was swatching Tiara, those two are the best metallics that I have among the ones that I ordered. So here is Always Yours. Wow, that looks a lot more purple on camera than it kind of reflects in real life, but yeah, it's kind of lavender. It's described as a cool tone pink, but the next shadow is going to be even more purple than this. So Greatest Gift, Tiara, Winter Garden, and Always Yours. On to the next shades. The last shade that I picked out is Mythical, which is described as a gray lavender with a metallic finish. So here is Mythical. Wow, that's a really blue-toned purple. Ooh. Now we're going into the 4 shadows that I received on top of what I ordered. So this first one is called XOXO. I don't have a description, like an official description of the color, because I couldn't find it on the website, but this is kind of like a cool tone pink. This one was the most disappointing out of all 9 of my shadows because it's a little bit chunkier and it doesn't really have the strength that the other metallics do. So there is XOXO. I guess it's kind of like a white base with a pink shift, like a clear base with a pink shift. So this might be something that's nice to run along the lower lash line just to bring a little bit of light, or almost as maybe a lid topper on top of another shade. But probably not something I would just wear on its own, like all over the lid without a base matte shade underneath it. The 7th shade is Truth and Beauty, and this is like a coppery shade. And this one's actually very metallic as well. This is my favorite among the 4 that they sent me. Not sent me. This is my favorite among the 4 additional shades besides the 5 that I picked out myself. There you go. It's a very orange toned copper with a very strong metallic finish. This is what Truth and Beauty looks like in the pan, by the way. The next one is Under the Sea, which looks just green in the pan, but actually when you swatch it, it has a black base with that green. It's like black and green. So I'll show you a swatch of that now. Here is Under the Sea. And as I blend it out, let's see if I can get more of that kind of shift to show through. It's not as strong a shift to be like a duochrome, but you can see there's like darkness in this shade. I also have one more shade to swatch, and I will swatch that just across the top of my hand. This seems like a basic deep matte brown called Peach Fuzz, and it kind of is a basic deep matte brown. It has a bit of a warmer undertone to it, but the more that I swatched it and rubbed it in when I was doing my arm swatches, I realized that this is actually a very creamy matte. I'll just layer it up at the end there. So this is the most boring shade, not one that I particularly needed, but actually one that I'm glad to have if I want to build a look on Sydney Grace shadows. It's nice to have matte, and it actually is a very nice formula. Those are the swatches of the 9 shades that I have. Another thing that I want to do in this later part of the video is do some swatch comparisons. Now, I did pick these to try to be unique in my collection, but as I did touch them myself today, I realized that some of them look a little bit similar to eyeshadows I already have, so I want to swatch them side by side to see how they really look. The first one that I'm thinking of is this first duochrome Greatest Gift, and this was the light pink with a green shift. So here is Greatest Gift. All right, and then the one that it reminded me of is within my Huda Nude Light Obsessions palette. And it is this shade over here, which is like a pink with a gold shift. And this gold shift actually looks a little bit green to me as well. So I wanted to see how they look side by side. Here's the one from Huda Nude Light Obsessions. Oh, wow. Wow, that shift looks pretty weak compared to the Sydney Grace one. That's cool. Another duochrome that this probably won't be exactly like Greatest Gift, but it reminds me of, is from Colourpop, and that is the single glass bowl, which is this one. You can see it has the aspects of the pink and the blue. So let's take a look at glass bowl. There we go. I know these aren't like exact, but I hope these comparisons are still helpful for y'all. I do believe that glass bowl is one of Colourpop's best-selling single eyeshadows, so I hope that some of us can make use of this comparison. Another eyeshadow that I'm actually just now seeing in my little pan of singles is this one called Egg, I think. It's called Golden Egg. So this also has some shifts to it, and let's see how it compares. So lastly, here's Golden Egg. Oh, that's really light. Let me swatch it closer to the original shade. So here is Golden Egg next to Greatest Gift. Wow. Well, here are some of my favorite duochromes in my collection. All together on my hand makes me so happy. So it turns out I actually don't have anything exactly like Greatest Gift within my collection. So that's good. Makes me feel good about purchasing it. Okay, the next shade that I wanted to do a swatch comparison of is this second duochrome that I ordered, the Winter Garden. And this was the gray lavender with a pink, blue, and lavender shift. The shade I want to compare that to is from my Wet n Wild VI Purple palette. And it is this shade that has kind of a blue base, or maybe a purple base with a blue shift. It's some combination of purple and blue. Words. This palette is also supposed to be a dupe of the Natasha Denona Lila palette, and I also did dupe the Urban Decay Ultraviolet palette, a couple of the shades from this palette. So this shade comparison does apply to the shades from those other original palettes too. So here's Winter Garden, and then I will kind of smooth that out. This is not the smoothest shade among the ones that I got, I already told y'all. Now I will dig and get a good swatch of this purple from the Wet n Wild palette. And there it is next to, whoa, okay. Never mind, that's way different. Let me try swatching that with the shade underneath it. Maybe that's the shade that I was thinking of. So here is a swatch of that other purple shade. Okay, maybe that was the one I was thinking of from the Wet n Wild palette, but still not similar enough for me to think that this was a waste of money. I'll build up this Wet n Wild one a little bit more so we can actually see the full potential of it. Yeah, wow, this is better. Okay, I do have one more shade that I want to compare to another shade that I have, and that is this gift one, Truth and Beauty, which was that very orange tone copper. Touching that one and looking at it reminded me a lot of this Natasha Denona single I have. I don't know the name or what palette it's from, but it was like a Sephora gift with purchase. So here are those two shades side by side, and looking at them now, they're not very similar, which is good. So here is Truth and Beauty. All right, killer. And here is that mystery orange Natasha Denona shade. I'll put the shade and the palette in my description box once I find what it is. So mystery Natasha Denona, which is a lot more orange. Ooh. I actually hardly ever use this one because I don't wear a lot of orange on my eyes. I feel like it's kind of like outdated. I don't know. I don't really like how oranges look on me, but yeah, wow. Whoa, these are different kinds of oranges. This is kind of like a more like yellow leaning orange, whereas this is like a more coral red orange with gold. They both have like a really strong reflect. Those are my comparisons. All in all, I'm very happy with this purchase. I hope this video was helpful and fun and entertaining, as I hope all my videos are to y'all. Well, that is all I have for y'all today. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay smart. Y'all are my treasure every day. And remember to find the beauty in every day, but most importantly, be kind to yourself. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!